Alright guys, so I think I fixed my audio problems that I was having, which was hindering the videos. But I want to talk, there's only going to be 2 videos for the day because I want to get back and do some more recording for the gaming channel. But let's talk about this. This happened about a week ago and I've been meaning to chat about it between now and then, but it's just been a constant news cycle. So let's go back and let's talk about this for a bit. So 2 Georgia high schoolers posted something video officials say. The 2 are no longer students in the Carlton GA district. The superintendent said, the video posted on TikTok on Thursday has been viewed millions of times across social media platforms. Now, do I think the video that they post was that word there? Sure, yeah, it was. That said, I do find it interesting. The left seems to care about it when it only goes one way. And we'll cover a situation where they've completely missed it. But anyway. But yeah, look, I definitely think the video was that. But that said, I also think they're kids. Kids will be kids, right? I know it's a bit of a cop-out and everybody's going to be like, oh my god, how are you defending them? I'm not going to defend them in this video. I think they deserve to get spanked by their parents. But I have a problem with the government spanking them. And that's what I want to focus about on this video. I don't want to focus on the actual video themselves. Look, they were dickheads. Right? They screwed up. They made a racist video. Sure. But I want to talk about the government aspect of this. And this is something that even lawyers on YouTube have said they don't like this video. They really, really don't. But these kids have a First and Fifth Amendment protection here, and the government is overstepping their bounds. So before we get into all that, let's jump into the video. Let's see what the kids said. Be warned, it's fairly racist. There is going to be sometimes people get triggered, but let's jump into it.
Hey, today we're making
niggers.
First we have black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty black.
Yeah. Next we have don't have a dad.
Don't have a dad? Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have eat watermelon and fried chicken.
Fried chicken,
Yeah.
watermelon? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's yeah.
Next one is make good choices. Let's see.
There's nothing there. Next we have rob people.
Specifically whites. Yeah, they do that.
Last one is
Go to jail?
Okay, so there's the video. Now, I will say that there is supposedly an account where the lady in the video supposedly come out and decided to throw a boyfriend under the bus, claiming that he's normalized racism and all this sort of stuff. We don't know if it's actually her account, but I'm guessing, I'm assuming it is. But at the end of the day, yeah. Look, at the end of the day, look, was the video wrong to make? Sure. Is this something that the parents should have always, or should get involved in? Sure. But the high schoolers have been expelled. And this is where it gets a very sticky situation, because it's a public school. It's a public school expelling kids from a public government branch who aren't even at school at the moment. All these schools are being suspended because of beer bug. So you can't even really make the claim that they're like impacting on the school, because literally no one's there anyway. So if that's the case, then why would you expel them before the school even goes back? So that's not likely to be held up or anything like that. But yeah, government branch going through and expelling kids from the school because they made a TikTok video that was racist. And this is where you sort of you're sort of getting the idea of where they might come unstuck. And I would be very surprised if these kids did not sue the school. They were set to graduate later this year, but they won't be graduating now because the school's expelled them. And this is where you're starting to get into a very sticky situation, because you have a government branch or a government body literally going through and firing or suspending people with their freedom of speech. So yeah, it gets a little bit tricky. And this is something that also the YouTubers online have gone through and actually talked about. And I'm just trying to find his video, and I can't actually find it. Has he taken it down? Give me a sec, guys. I've got to check this. Has he taken it down? Oh, no. Okay, so it's a different... yeah, okay, someone else. Different video. So, here's the video that I was talking about, right? So, we'll go through and we'll duplicate that and we'll post that.
This is a community support.
Now, this is Lawful Masses. Guys, I'll put a link in the description below for his YouTube channel. But in this, he goes through and he talks about freedom of speech and these kids having a right.
Will face serious consequences. It's a student situation, so it applies differently than it would apply to a non-student. So the government can't tell Leonard French what he can and can't say beyond a very, very specific point that we're going to go over in one of the cases here. And that's because Leonard French is not a student of a public school, of a high school. When Leonard French was in public high school, he does make a podcast called Make No Law, and we're going to talk about the Tinker case. We're going to talk about the Brandon properly going through a due process of law situation. Decision which defined the First Amendment.
So he brings up this Tinker case, right? And this Tinker is basically where it was a public school, or the rights of the students in the US public schools. And it was later found that the students in these public schools have a right to freedom of speech. This is literally what Tinker versus D'Amour's Independent Community School District says. Now, the thing is that there's only one situation where the public school has a right to shut down someone or expel someone in that situation, and that is where the school is directly impacted, for example. And in this situation, they mightn't even be able to argue that because the schools are suspended. And this is something that Lawful Masses with Leonard French actually goes through and talks about.
13 and 11, and appeal to the Supreme Court
the part
in Vietnam. Holding classes, maybe they are. If they're holding classes, they appear to be online classes. How does that video disrupt the operation of the school? The video wasn't being
and that's the point, that this video itself doesn't actually disrupt the operations of the school. Now, he goes through and says here that he hates the video, he doesn't like the video, he thinks that it's racist and everything like that.
And I'm definitely not. But, for devil's advocacy, is representing them, and I'm definitely not. But, for devil's advocacy, for hypothetical, I would argue that. I would argue that the community's outrage is not a disruption that I have caused. Now I'm not comparing their cause to materially and substantially interfering. For me not to think that that's the product of the people who are reacting, idiots, for lack of a better way to describe it. I mean, I feel kind of bad. They're kids. They've obviously been led astray to have those views. And it's something that I think they can overcome and maybe someday be better than that. But is expelling them a constitutionally sound decision? And I'm not sure that it is. Let's see what...
And that's the problem. And this is where, if it goes to court, we're going to have a very interesting case, because you have two kids who have been expelled from a public school system who are being suppressed by the government. And it's not just a First Amendment, it's also a Fifth Amendment as well. So at the end of the day, the school really does have an uphill battle if the kids decide to go through and challenge this. Like I say, I'm not saying the video the kids were posted was right or was a good thing to post. I am merely looking at this as a freedom of speech sort of step, right? And as a freedom of speech interesting case. And to me, these kids have a right to say what they want to say. They have a right to post this video, no matter how much you may disagree with it, and not get expelled from the school unless the school can prove of disruptions. Which, at the moment, school's not even in session, right? They're all done from home at the moment, as far as I'm aware. So, this is going to be an interesting one. And, you know, like I say, he hates the video. You can tell he really doesn't like the video. But if you have a First Amendment right or a Fifth Amendment right, you have a First or Fifth Amendment right. You have a right to do that. And obviously just to go through, and obviously in case people aren't familiar with the Fifth Amendment, let me make sure I actually bring it up. I'll actually bring up the actual congressional law thing. So make sure we actually get this right, considering we are talking about law. So the Fifth Amendment creates a number of rights relevant to both criminal and civil legal proceedings. The criminal case, obviously everybody knows what the First Amendment right is, so we don't need to talk about that. The Fifth Amendment guarantees the right to a grand jury, double jeopardy, protects itself as self-incriminating. It also requires a due process of law to be a part of any proceeding that denies a citizen life, liberty, or property, and requires the government to compensate citizens where it takes private property for public use. Now, to me, this is more of a First Amendment thing. I think these kids have a right First Amendmently. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know what I mean. The First Amendment guarantees the freedoms concerning religion, expression, assembly, and the right to petition. It forbids Congress from both promoting one religion over the other. It also restricts individual religious practices. It guarantees the freedom of expression by prohibiting Congress from restricting the press or the rights of individuals to speak freely. It also guarantees the rights of citizens to assemble, peace, and protect the government. So I think, to be honest, you could probably make an argument for both of these, which is what he is actually saying here. So like I say, at the end of the day, definitely going to be an interesting case. And it's really interesting too to watch the people on the left. I've literally had a debate about this in a Discord, where a guy who is what I presume would be far left or left has tried to make the argument that these kids deserve to be expelled because of the video that they've posted. That it's okay for the government to infringe on their rights because he didn't like the video. And my argument to him and to everybody that uses that argument is, okay, I don't like your views on certain policies. Do I now have the right to shut down your freedom of speech? At the moment, you have a Republican in charge of Congress. Or you have a Republican senator in states, in most states actually. Do they have the right to shut down the Democrats speaking because they don't like their views? Let's go controversial. Let's go abortion. Right? Does the governor of the states go through and have the right to shut down Planned Parenthood because they don't like their abortion stance? And of course, obviously the answer to that is no. right? So at the end of the day, you know, you can't argue for one and then argue for the other when the situation suits you. And that's where I think we have to be intellectually honest here. These kids have a First and Fifth Amendment right. The school is really overstepping their bounds. And that's not me saying that. That's actually a lawyer saying it.
What else Pope Hat has to say? Pope Hat said that the students are jerks and he wouldn't want to know them and welcome their future of mediocrity. And he does then go into the speech rights. Apparently Mary B. Tinker is actually on Twitter. I will have to follow her. She kicked butt over black armbands, and therefore rules remain, and students do not surrender First Amendment rights as a consequence of being students. Schools can't.
And that's the important thing. The students do not forfeit rights for First Amendment because they're students. And at the moment, you have a government branch, literally a government branch, it's a public school, firing, for lack of a better word, or expelling these students from their premises because of this video. And that's where it gets into a very tricky situation for the school. And if I was the kids, lawsuit. I'm going to say it. I would sue the school. Obviously, I wouldn't make the video and post it on TikTok in the first place. But, that said, if I did, lawsuit. And that's what that would be my suggestions to the kids. Speak to lawyers. Because you have my understanding, Leonard French's understanding, and this Pope Hat's understanding. At the end of the day, you have a very good case here. But, I don't know. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Oh, I'm looking forward to the comments on this one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the left getting outraged, and also I'm looking forward to the right turning around saying the kids did nothing wrong. Oh boy, it was great knowing you guys to have a YouTube channel. It was fun for the first few years, but unfortunately YouTube will probably delete this channel now. But guys, yeah, but jokes aside, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. There'll be another video today. We're going to talk about AOC because she's everybody's favorite punching bag when we need a laugh. And she said something really stupid yet again. So more AOC time. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.